Parliament was plunged into utter pandemonium today when a shocking and completely out of the blue move by fell for Mbalula sent shockwaves stumbling through South Africa's precarious political landscape. In a moment now being characterized by insiders as both heroic and catastrophically incriminating, the African National Congress, ANC, Secretary-General shocked members of Parliament, the press gallery, and millions tuning into the live broadcast by openly leaking confidential WhatsApp messages that supposedly implicate President Sir Ramaphosa directly in sweeping budget-related corruption. This incendiary news has pushed the already scandal-battered ANC ruling party into a crisis. So deep that even seasoned analysts are wondering if the party can withstand the impending storm unscathed. What was supposed to be another ordinary parliamentary sitting aimed at budgetary performance, economic recovery measures, and the government's failing strategy for battling unemployment turned into a dramatic and historic one no one anticipated. Just as Finance Minister Enoch Godwin stood up to make his much-anticipated midterm budget speech, Mbalula got up, his face abnormally somber, his expression strained, and asked to be heard on grounds of what he referred to as urgent national interest and moral obligation. Whispers of incomprehension and shock ran through the chamber. This was Mbalula, a man well accustomed to his loud devotion to party line, now diverging from it. There was a strained moment of silence before the speaker reluctantly accorded him the opportunity. What ensued transformed Parliament's resounding corridors into a theatre of distrust, outrage, and unvarnished political drama, producing a fat wad of printed screenshots from a worn manila folder. Mbalula declared that he could no longer in good conscience keep quiet as the nation, in his words, bled dry behind a polished curtain of false promises. He stood there holding out the documents for everyone to see. Screenshot WhatsApp messages he alleged were between President Ramaphosa and top ANC officials at the highest echelons. These messages, Mbalula intoned, his voice shaking but firm record talks that nobody ever dreamed would become public, but they have to. They reveal orders to steal your money in the name of phantom projects, phantom contractors, and shell companies while our people go without electricity, employment, or dreams. I will no longer shield falsehoods. This transcends politics. This is a betrayal of the people. The room already charged lapsed into silence as Mbalula started reading outwards line by line the choice excerpts from the leaked messages. To him, the exchanges reveal a vast web of backdoor budget placements, phony tenders, clandestine kickbacks channeled through cover firms, and coded orders to divert billions in the name of strategic development programs. Included in the revelations were state contractors' names, questionable audit reports, and constant directives to muzzle whistleblowers within the National Treasury and the Department of Public Works. Gas echoed in the hall as Mbalula went on, each disclosure more incriminating than the previous. Opposition benches exploded into a hurricane of applause, jeers, and resign now chants. While most ANC loyalists sat transfixed, faces a mixture of shock, rage, and terror. Some MPs looked at their phones and were typing furiously with updates to their advisers and allies. Some visibly shaken ANC veterans stood and left unable to stomach the moment's seriousness, and as Mbalula concluded reading the whole Parliament almost took a collective breath, and then suddenly the House plunged into chaos. The leader of the Democratic Alliance, John Steenhuisen, immediately rose and bellowed that President Ramaphosa should be suspended from office until there is an urgent full-scale parliamentary inquiry. Economic Freedom Fighters Chief Julius Malema went even further, shouting that the whole cabinet must step down at once and that new elections must be held within a few months. This is the ultimate evidence, Mima thundered, pointing at the ANC benches, that your so-called renewal was a hoax. The ANC is rotten to the core from the top to the bottom. In the mayhem, some of the ANC MPs attempted to discredit the screenshots as fakes, yelling across the chamber that Mbalula had been compromised by agents of the opposition. But Mbalula anticipated just this challenge. He calmly brandished a flash drive and informed the Speaker and the country that he had already delivered the complete chat backups and original phone records, including metadata, to the Speaker's office, the Public Protector, and the Hawks Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. If something is to befall me in the next few days, let this moment serve as my testimony, he said, his voice firming. I have nothing to gain from this except to stand before history with a clean conscience. When Mbalula resigned, the chamber had descended into anarchy. Security rushed in to try and regain order as members exchanged insults and accusations. Journalists scrambled to send out standalone pieces. TV pundits went live with a stunned reaction. The ANC's own Secretary-General ripping open a scandal that might topple a sitting president and quite possibly the party itself. Away from Parliament, the shock waves were far-reaching. In mid-afternoon, news dominated every radio wave and news channel. Social media went crazy with such hashtags as #BudgetGate, #WhatsApp leaks, and #Ramaphosa resign as South Africans weighed the future of the nation in tweets, TikToks, and agitated WhatsApp groups of their own. Civil society groups did not hesitate to demand an instant national lockdown, with the president being asked to step down until investigations into the claims are complete. Student organizations, churches, and even certain trade unions released statements announcing they would protest on the union buildings in the event that Ramaphosa did not speak out. However, with the coming of night over Pretoria, such silence was deafening. Close sources to the presidency indicated Ramaphosa was caught off guard by the betrayal of Mbalula. He is said to have stormed out of an economic round at the union buildings minutes after the news broke. His official spokesperson Vincent Magwa made a mere announcement to journalists who had gathered at the gate, stating the president is aware of the allegations. A formal release will be made after the information has been reviewed and confirmed. The press corps, meanwhile, wildly speculated on who would be next to switch and what they might reveal. ANC leadership was in a panic behind closed doors late into the evening, with said emergency meetings allegedly going on well past midnight. Rumor has it in close circles that desperate calls are being made to old associates to hold firm, but there is widespread apprehension that the stream of defections could continue if Ramaphosa cannot keep the tempest at bay. South Africa is now teetering on a knife's edge. Will Ramaphosa dig in, deny, and struggle with every weapon at his command? Or will he yield to the increasing demands that he resign to avoid the complete breakdown of the ANC's already strained unity?